Independent Sexual Violence Advisors, ISVAs, play an important role in providing specialist tailored support to victims and survivors of sexual violence.
It's just a brilliant job. There's so many different things and your day is different every single day.
Our clients have the continuity of we're that one constant person who's going to be there all the way through, who you can trust.
Having someone that's got the time to actually listen to them and advocate for them, and making things as easy as possible to make decisions about what options they have, particularly in the justice processes.
You see the massive highs, you see the massive lows, and throughout you're there. Maybe other services don't see, the massive impact that the rape and the abuse has had.
Yeah.
And you see that massive resilience as well, which is, always amazing to see.
My mum was abused, so although not consciously and although she doesn't speak about it, it has had ripple effects throughout our family. I might not be able to do anything about her experience, but I can do something different for the people who have that experience now.
I really liked the organisation. As a volunteer, I had a lot of support. The training was really good. I just felt like I was doing something worthwhile, and it made me feel good.
I was motivated to step into this role because I think if you have a really well supported team, then your clients are really well supported.
I've bounced between social care and criminal justice and knew I'd return to the criminal justice side because that's something that I've always been interested in for years and years. That's what my degree's in.
It's such a long process and there's so many things that get pushed back.
We've got waiting lists for everything, every mental health service, counselling, funding's always a problem, and then you've got the criminal justice thrown on top of that and trials repeatedly getting adjourned. We've got sentences even getting adjourned. At one point I had a 9-month wait for a sentence. It's things like that what get to me more than the actual client work.
The justice system is the biggest issue. I don't want to put anybody off, but I have to be realistic, and the system is not set up for them. It is re-traumatising and intrusive and long. And mostly, I don't get an outcome you want, particularly if you have any mental health issues or addictions as a result of trauma, which many people have. Clients can be treated with suspicion. Things happen on the whim of a judge and there's no standard process. And then it can feel like the system is against you and the system doesn't appreciate you.
I think some judges don't always understand the ISVA role. It is a professional role, but we find that still we're coming up against resistance sometimes when we get to courts about what our support looks like, being able to be in the courtroom with our client, and also understanding the need. I think some judges don't always understand the need for special measures for vulnerable clients, especially those with additional needs. They don't always understand how important that is for clients to be able to give their best evidence.
If cases do go through the court process and we get a good result at court, that's rewarding, but it's so far and few between, unfortunately. So I tend to get more reward or job satisfaction from seeing people's lives change for the better, to see them thriving, actually. That's the reward.
I certainly am trying to drill into the team to take the small wins, because they are actually, to each client, those are the big wins.
It's a hard job. Some clients can be challenging or have challenging lives. Whilst I understand the reasons, it isn't always easy to be on the receiving end.
We are required to slot in and adjust at the drop of a hat. The whole job is a juggling act. In any event, 'cause we're dealing with people and they can pop up at any moment with any issue or any crisis. You have got to sort of let go of the fact that you've got no control.
Having to give that emotional support all the time, it can be really draining when you're having to give it day in, day out.
It's changed the way I think about things. For example, my own safety. It's made me more alert, more paranoid.
I would say it's definitely made me more wary of men, and when we see incidents coming in, particularly in the city centres. I'm thinking, crikey, I best avoid them.
My boundaries were shocking. And now I'd like to think I hold quite firm and quite nice boundaries, and that's something that I will always be thankful for working in this role.
I think it's about being like a real human. And so when things are not going so great, it's being honest with that and not trying to sugarcoat it. Being realistic and saying, yep, it's not great right now, but what we're going to do next, how we can get through this and give them empowerment to get through everything.
I'm always surprised by how resilient people are and what resources they have themselves and coping skills, and they just get through, don't they?
I think it makes ISVAs more resilient as well, and it's just constant learning, the resilience to deal with that and multiple people on a daily basis, really unpredictable things happening and hardly any planning for things just come along and you've got to adapt, and that will change you as a person.
Some of our ISVAs, they want to go above and beyond for their clients, but actually sometimes that's at the detriment to themselves, as they are going to end up being burnt out. So it's trying to have that conversation with them to say, you maybe need to slow down a little bit.
We're about to implement wellness action plans. We all work in this industry, we all support clients, but when it's you in that moment, it's so difficult.
I think it's having that supportive team as well, because I remember one particular day where everything was rubbish and I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
But Claire just knew and just came and put a cup of tea on the side, and she didn't need to say anything else. And I'm thinking that's all I needed that day. And I think it's just being aware and having that support from your team and realising there is days where it's going to be heavier, but being there for each other and having that support is massive, isn't it?
Yeah.
You find, don't you, from your team, people from all different backgrounds with all different experience, and it's fantastic because there's not really a lot you can't overcome together. Just talking over a case and just going through what the issues are, what the possibilities are, just makes you not feeling alone, that it's all on your shoulders, and I think is really important.
They have monthly supervision, and obviously I go and escalate things to the head of the CPS, Razo gatekeeper.
I think sometimes when the pressure gets quite high and you're constantly working in that crisis and at that pace, they can take on some trauma themselves, and then that can sometimes play out in the team. But what we've tried to do is encourage open, honest, transparent conversations between the team to be able to sort out any issues between them.
I have to be really strict with myself. I finish work, door shut, that's it. That's gone till tomorrow. But it is hard to do that sometimes, particularly if things are playing on your mind a little bit.
When people have experienced their darkest thing, we can be a light for people.
Working in this field, you realise that people do get through it and they do go on to live happy lives afterwards. And it's a journey, but with the right support, they can get through to live a happy life and be successful.
If you have a day where there's lots of negative things, you're constantly feeding back to clients, whether it's another trial's being adjourned, so it's all that negativity, and then you'll get one text from a client just to say, thank you for being you and you've changed my life, and it can be the smallest sort of thing.
I think for there to be any longevity to be in this role, you have got to look after yourself, to look after your clients, in that order.
It's such an important job and so worthwhile. It does give a lot back, but we need people to do the hard jobs and people to care. It can change lives.